All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live edition of the Global Reality right here on the Global Reality Radio Network. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. Thank you for being with us here today. It is Friday, August the 6th, 2010. Glad you could join us, and our stream issues continue. This has been going on for almost a week now, and I'm fucking absolutely sick and tired of it, and I know you all are as well, but, the show must go on, so I'm here trying to find contingencies and ways for the show to go on and continue. So that's where we're at right now. So what we're doing is we're doing a live Justin TV broadcast here on Justin.tv. Yes, it's working. Yes, I mean, I can't, I have enough issues, enough problems to deal with. I can't run tech support and worry about whether or not you out there are getting your audio or whatever else have you to work or not. Are you not getting audio? Are you not getting sound? I mean, what's going on here? This happened last night. I tried to go live last night, and I told everybody that I was going live, and I went live. And I talked for about 5 minutes, and nobody came in. So I just said, fuck it, and didn't even go about, thank you. Somebody actually acknowledged my existence for once. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then after nobody paid attention, everybody's like, hey, where's the show at? So there, should be working fine for you now. Anyway, nonetheless, I don't want to spend all our time talking about technical issues and the rest of this bullshit. It was interesting last night, though, that I think it was coincidentally, if you believe in coincidences, I sure don't. But apparently last night, my website was down, theglobalreality.com, roguegovernment.com, Blacklisted News, and Oracle Broadcasting were all down simultaneously. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some people that are going to say, oh, well, it was just, a server glitch or something. But I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it was just a coincidental server glitch for all fucking four of our websites to be set down simultaneously, and then all of the stream problems we've had this week. But I'm sick to death of it, and I'm really fucking pissed off. And I don't have, I don't have the money to go. Everybody's like, well, why don't you use another stream cover? Because I don't have the fucking money to go pay to buy more streams on another stream service. Okay. Everybody, it's just, it pisses me off because it's like I don't have enough problems. I don't have enough issues where I have to worry about what's happening with this stuff. And then I got people fucking, asking me, well, why don't you give me the goddamn money and I'll do it then? If you got $100 or something, give it to me and I'll go fucking get more different streams. But until then, I have to deal with this. I have no choice. My hands are tied. I don't have the resources to just go say, oh, well, the stream's not working. Let's go buy another stream company. No, I don't have the ability to do that. So what we're doing now is I'm recording the show on an audio archive. I'll upload it later on to File Dropper, and then we'll put it up on the globalreality.com website. And once our streams are fixed, we'll stream it. If not, it'll be there and upload. That way people can go and download and have the show. But you people who are watching live will get to see and hear what we're doing here on Justin TV today. So there's that. So hopefully we won't have to discuss this anymore. I'm ready to move on from this and really get into the I'm ready to get into the business of at hand, which is getting out information. I don't like him to deal with all this technical bullshit. I don't. It's a waste of my fucking time, and I don't like it. So we'll be getting into a lot of news. We have a ton to get into. We have 2 days worth we've got to get into here today. So. Well, I'll be doing my best to get into all of that. It's going to be a little different, a little weird because I'm going to be having to look up at my screen. So you're going to see me looking up a lot because I have to look up at my screen to read above where the camera's at. So, oh, wow. Well, you guys will love this. I talk about breaking news. Wow. Well. Because I've talked about how the server company is basically giving me no love whatsoever, not giving me any responses. I had 3 or 4 open support tickets they have never responded to. And all of a sudden today, they started responding to my support tickets And I got one confirmation earlier that they had responded to my new server ticket. Well, right here, right now, I just received an email. This is folks. We got confirmation. We now have official confirmation, not speculation, not hearsay. I mean, I don't know what, Lee and Doug and Aaron and the Oracle guys are going to say about, the attack. My website is actually also hosted by the same company, which Doug's friend Aaron runs. He runs his own server company. He does TeamSpeak and all that stuff. And he hosts all our websites. He hosts my website. He hosts roguegovernment.com, blacklistednews.com, and Oracle. And I just got but my stream company, for my streams, there's a totally different service. I have my own server. And it says right here in this email that I just received from shoutbroadcast.com, quote, the server has been under a DDoS attack, which is denial of service, and we are reworking on having it cleared. So that stands to reason that all of these same similar issues we've had with these streams ever since are indeed a denial of service attack. So again, this is not speculation. This is not rumor. Every time, sometimes when this happens, and I'll give you that. Sometimes when it happens, people say, "Oh yeah, it's they're trying to shut us down," but and they're not. Because there are technical issues that happen. But folks, this is a confirmation. This is an absolute confirmation of everything that we thought. The server company has confirmed that the server I have been on at the SS.3 server with the server company has been under attack. So it's not speculation anymore. It's not hearsay. Their server has been under a denial of service attack. I wonder why. That's one server that just happens to be the one I'm on, when other ones have had any problems, has been under attack. So this is a red alert situation. That's what this is. They are trying to shut us down. What's interesting is that I've been keeping this under wraps because for this reason, and I think one of the reasons why I've been so angry and pissed off about this whole server issue is because I know this is intentional, and I know that they know that I'm doing things. They're monitoring everything I do on my computer, regardless of whether or not that activity has anything to do with the internet or anything else. And the reason I say that is because I just announced earlier in the chat room, and I don't even think my friends and family even knew about this. I've been keeping this so tightly under wraps. But it has now uploaded, and it will be live here in, I guess, in however long it takes, an hour or two, or however long it takes it to fully encode or whatever it is that it does once you upload to YouTube. But releasing today, coming out today, and I haven't talked about this on air, and it's almost like they knew I was doing this. The Secret Rite Volume 1.5. This is 16 minutes and 39 seconds of additional footage and news clips that did not make it into Volume 1 and didn't quite fit the mold for what we're doing with Volume 2. And so in order to have something new to put out there and have a sort of a segue between Volume 1 and Volume 2, the Secret Rite 1.5 is now done and out, and it is uploaded, and it is processing on YouTube right now. So we'll have that up, and we'll get links to it up at theglobalreality.com in the documentary section, and we'll have that up. And I'm sure before I'm done broadcasting today, it should be processing, but it's processing right now. So again, I've been keeping that under wraps. And again, I think that's one of the reasons, that's kind of the reason why I've been, cause I've been working on this all week, and, it's almost as if, they knew that I was working on this, at least that's the way I feel. But I mean, I think that this is I think it's a huge type of admission now that when we get, he says, I can move you to another server and it will run now. You will have to change the address on your encoder and your listening links. Let me know. That's what they say. Well, yeah, I guess I can do that, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm on air. But that's what they're saying in this message I got from the server company. Now, I can move you to another server and it will run now. You'll have to change the address on the encoder. But either way, the fact that they're getting a massive denial of service attack and they're admitting this, that server's been under attack is pretty interesting. So it lets you know that what we're doing, again, is very damaging to the powers that be, and it just, to me, it just proves everything that we say is true. I mean, it must prove that a lot of the gut feelings and the gut reaction things and theoretical stuff that I've thrown out there must be right on. All the stuff that we've talked about the phony patriots, Alex Jones, the truthers, all the rest of this stuff, excuse me, is right on. And then, of course, coming right on the heels of releasing this Secret Rite 1.5, which I hadn't talked about doing on air. I talked about doing that before, but then I decided I was going to do volume 2. But then I had all this extra footage. We have some footage that was shot at the Dallas Scottish Rite Cathedral, Masonic Cathedral, and the Dallas Scottish Rite Lodge outside of it. That's in volume 1.5 to be coming out today. And we've got some other clips that didn't make it on the cutting room floor, off the cutting room floor in volume 1 from some of the various news sources that we got. So, again, that is processing right now on YouTube, and we'll have that up by the end of the day. Please support us for volume 2. That's one of the reasons I'm putting this out, is hopefully this will inspire some people to want to support us for volume 2. I mean, at this point, look, we have the chip and banner up there for the bills, pay the bills and all that stuff. But honestly, we need help beyond that. We need a war chest. I need some cash to come into this operation so we can fucking start doing stuff, because, obviously, again, roguegovernment.com, blacklistednews.com, Oracle Broadcasting, and the Global Reality were all down last night with the indicators that it was a denial of service attack. And then now we've got a denial of service attack admission and confirmation from the server company that runs our streams for the Global Reality Radio Network. So we're under full attack here, and I know it's because of the information. I know it's because they know I'm getting closer to coming out with volume 2. I know it is. I know that's why they're doing this. And, I put out conservative estimates for stuff that we need as far as money and stuff for the films, $1,000, whatever here, but we need whatever we can get. I mean, I have pieces of equipment I'd like to buy, and we're competing with people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars of resources to pull from. I don't have that much to pull from. And I don't want to have, I've had big fundraisers and, money bomb type things in the past. We didn't call it a money bomb, though. We called it an improvised economic device. But if the donate button is there, the chip and banner thing is for the bills, but the donate button's there for sums that have to do with the films and the work and everything. So please, I'm asking you now, anybody, all of you out there, please, this is obvious that we're coming under threat and attack. And right now we need to get some cash in here so we can start really, really, getting this stuff out. So I don't want to wait any longer. I feel like we can't, wait any longer to wait on this. I feel like we have to get this out now. It's insane. Obviously, again, this is confirmation. We can be suspicious about the type of things that are happening. We can be suspicious about what they're doing, but it's a completely different kettle of fish when we get confirmation from the web hosting server that indeed this is what they're doing, and indeed this is a denial of service attack. So please, the donate button is there. $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I mean, whatever we can get. We can receive up to $9,000 or something per day on PayPal. But whatever you support that you guys can give us out there, whatever you want to give us towards this, I have to go forward with this. So this is why we're putting out volume 1.5 for the Secret Rite, which will be out today. It's done uploading on YouTube, but it's processing right now, so the quality is not high yet. But I will let you guys know it should be up before we're done with the broadcast. But this audio will be recorded, and we'll have it up in the permanent record. I got to get into this news, but my God, I just found this out, the confirmation that we are under denial of service act. I just found this out right before I was coming on, right when I came on air. So I'm kind of, fucking amped up about that right now. But we'll definitely get in the news. It's hard for me to look at these news stories and want to talk about them now, because all I can really think about right now at this moment is the fact that I mean, we're a serious threat to these people, man. I mean, obviously, they fucking sent, phony state troopers or Blackwater, whatever they were, mercenaries, hired mercs, assassins. I don't know what the fuck these people were. A few months ago, back to my former residence, the day after I moved out, ransacked the place, kicked the door in, came in illegally, and then when we contacted, Texas state troopers, had no record of the event ever happening. And so that was my first indicator. I mean, these people are not playing around. They know, and I see all this as a full vindication of everything we've tried to say. And the reason this doesn't happen to more people is because there aren't as many people that are talking about this stuff. And there were people, there were researchers, people who had stuff on websites about the CMP, but nobody ever attacked the CMP and came full out and made a movie about it and did the kind of stuff that I did and was really bringing it to the table of the Patriot movement and Truth movement on their radio stations than I did. So I'm sort of the foremost. Thank goodness people like Lee Rogers and stuff Lee's really only one other besides me, to be honest with you. But thank goodness, that Lee Rogers has now taken the helm and stepped up and started talking about this stuff as well, because it sucks being the only one. And because so many people are brainwashed and really just falling into another box with the Truth movement, Patriot movement, it makes it very hard to be a type of researcher that I am and getting into this stuff. But I mean, I consider, phony state troopers, kicking down your door and denial of service attacks on websites, denial of service attacks on your web streams. I consider that a red alert situation. I don't know what else to do. But if I don't get some financial backing in here to be able to start doing some stuff in a big way, then the bad guys win. And I'm not going to allow the bad guys to win. That's just that's the plain point of the matter. But it's, I'm just, all I can do is keep doing it. All I can do is to keep firing away at these people. All I can do is to keep bringing the information that I have to bring to the table, and keep firing away at it. That's, the only way to resist this stuff, the only way to fight back is to fight back with the information and to keep putting it out there. I want to start coming up with some contingencies. Luckily, we have this Justin TV thing. I think this is a great contingency for times like this when the streams and stuff aren't working, and we can come on here and do this, which is good. And it'll be archived, and then we also, like I said, we're also recording the audio to put up. I'm just dumbfounded, man. I guess. Again, when, you can speculate and you can have the gut feeling and feel that, when you have these stream problems, you have this stuff like this. It's been going for almost a week. I know this is a direct result. I know this is coming as a direct result of the things that we've exposed about Alex Jones, GCN, Adana Khashoggi, the John Birch Society. I know it is. I guarantee you it is. I know this is coming as a direct result of the things that we've talked about and exposed with these guys, because nobody else is doing it, and that's why they're coming after us. They're trying to shut us down. Because this happens every time Alex Jones pulls some goddamn stunt, like he's pulled recently with Mike Rivera, which happens every year, and there's some fallout. But every time he fucking shows his ass, and then we expose him, but he exposes himself. But every time he does that, this shit happens. It's happened ever since I've been on air, dude. Ever since. I'm sick and tired of it, and I got fucking news for you. I got news for you. And I know you fucking have your minions watch my shit, Alex Jones, and I know you watch this shit because you're fucking psycho. We're going to expose your ass, and we're going to ruin your fucking operation with information and things that are all available there on the web that you can go and find for yourself. We have this stuff dead to rights now, and we are not going to stop. And if you try to stop one of us, a million more just like us are going to pop up, because we have contingencies. We have backups for this information. We have people that out there that know about it. You can't stop us. You won't stop us. We are the resistance to the phony resistance that people are following as being real, because they just don't know any better. I don't have anything against those people out there that are blindly following the Patriot movement, truth movement. I don't have anything against those people. But I feel like I have to be there to hopefully, and we have, hopefully unplug these people. And we have unplugged some people from, the new matrix. It's like a second matrix. It's there waiting for you when you wake up from, normal, regular consensus reality. I'm just on fire about this. I can't help but go off and talk about it. And I want to get in the news, and we will get into the news, but it's just, it's very mind-boggling for me because I haven't told anybody that we were coming out with the Secret Rite Volume 1.5, and that's what's been on my mind all week as this has been happening. So that's why I haven't done this sort of, because we could have done this yesterday. We tried all day. I was going to do shows yesterday, and it would come back up and then went back down, and then the Justin TV thing wasn't working right, and I figured out how to get that to work right by using this different Adobe video encoder. So it's working good now, but this has been kind of the reason why I didn't do this new contingency before, was because I was working on trying to get this Secret Rite 1.5 out and wanted to get it done and have it out there for for any other crazy shit happen. But I mean, we know now, don't we? We know now this is absolutely because of this. It's like they knew it was coming. And the fucked up thing is I hadn't told anybody. So there's no way anybody could have known. Not even my friends or family. Nobody knew I was making this 1.5. Nobody knew I was coming out with this. So I guess it's not only proof that they've been, executing denial of service attacks on our servers and websites and streams, but they've also been monitoring my off-web activity on my computer, which I've known they're doing, and it's not a surprise. We know they're doing that. But I mean, again, it's different when it happens to you, isn't it? We can sit up here and report about, illegal monitoring of people's computers and all electronic activity. But, when it happens to you as a direct result of the information you're exposing, I tell you, it burns, and you gotta take that burn and turn it into, channel that into something productive. And all this does is get me more fired up. All this does is get me, more and more wanting to go. But we just need to build a financial war chest so we can get better equipment. I need some new pieces of equipment and different things like that. So please support us with the donate button there on the chip and banners for the bills. But the donate button, if you want to make, you want to donate, $100, $500, $1,000, $2,000, whatever. We just need something to build up so we can actually take these people on. But we'll have this audio up later on. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the news. Maybe try to step away from thinking about this. It's just I just found out, right, but when we came on, this was happening. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. Very interesting lesson. I'll keep you guys updated on the upload of Secret Rite Volume 1.5, which again has been uploaded. It's processing right now, so you guys will be able to watch that today here pretty shortly. All right, news. We have a ton of it. We have a bunch of stuff that relates to Secret Rite, CMPers, teabaggers, right-wingers, whatever you want to call it. This one, of course, everybody has seen this, and the web has been abuzz with this article, but didn't get to do any shows yesterday, so I have to cover it nonetheless. I believe this is part of the coming disclosure and the current acclamation of extraterrestrials, UFOs, and the rest of it. British wartime Prime Minister Winston Churchill banned the reporting for 50 years of an alleged UFO incident because of fears it could create mass panic, according to claims made public on Thursday. The grandson of a Royal Air Force officer who was one of Churchill's personal bodyguards wrote to Britain's Ministry of Defense in 1999 about the alleged incident. His account and Churchill's claims reaction featured in documents released on Thursday from Britain's National Archives. According to this account, the man's grandfather overheard Churchill discussing the alleged incident with U.S. wartime General Dwight Eisenhower. Reports given to Churchill claimed that a reconnaissance aircraft returning to Britain from a mission was shadowed by a UFO as it crossed the British coast. The plane's crew were reported to have photographed the object, which they said had hovered noiselessly near the aircraft before moving on. According to the letter described this alleged incident, Mr. Churchill is reported to have made a declaration to the effect this event should be immediately classified since it would create mass panic among the general population and destroy one's belief in the church. Now, isn't that an interesting statement? It would destroy one's belief in the church. Well, what does Winston Churchill care? This guy was a member of the Order of the Druids. He was into all sorts of occultic things. What would he care? Well, there again is the answer to that question that we always know, is there is no separation between the mystery schools, the secret societies, and mainstream religion. They're all one big gigantic cult, but they spread themselves out and give themselves the appearance that they're separate when they really aren't. I mean, what would he care? You see? But his job at that time was still to protect the church and to protect the priest class structure, because they weren't to the stage in their agenda yet where they could start tearing down religion as they are now. They're to that part of the operation now. They spent years and years building people up and getting people indoctrinated and getting them ensconced into the religious hierarchy. So now they're in the mode of tearing it down. This is why they're allowing this stuff to come out. That's what the part of this Alien Disclosure Project is all about, to tear down the foundations of religion, to tear down the foundations of science, to create a new one world belief system that everyone in the world believes. Right now, we have too many people. Some people believe this, some people believe that, some people follow this religion, some people follow that religion. They're all creation of the priest class. But again, they're executing that long enough to get people to fight and die over it, and so they can bring out a one belief system, one structure that they control. That's what's going on. So again, I think this, why allow this to come out now? Why allow this to come out now? They very well could have kept this a secret and never allowed this to come out. But again, it fits the agenda now, doesn't it? It sure does. We've heard about the dig brigades. I've been subject to those guys a few times when I was writing articles and putting out articles. I don't really write articles anymore, but I have in the past. I just don't have time on top of everything else. But now fucking 2 years later, after when we talked about this a few years ago, they called us conspiracy. Oh yeah, well, you conspiracy theorists are writing articles and then claiming there's a conspiracy to shut them down. Well, there was a conspiracy to shut them down. I was subject to that. And now it's come out. Massive censorship of Dig uncovered. A group of influential conservative members of the behemoth social media site Dig have just been caught red-handed in a widespread campaign of censorship, having multiple accounts, upvote padding, and deliberately trying to ban progressives. An undercover investigation has exposed this effort, which has been in action for more than 1 year. This is from Alternet. The more liberal stories that were buried, the better chance conservative stories might have to get on the front page. Well, see, they're using this, the truth of this is divide and conquer. But it's not just, that they're padding conservative stories and putting out liberal stories, unless I guess maybe those guys are so fucking hardcore, crazy conservative that they consider stories about chemtrails or, the New World Order or whatever to be a liberal story. Maybe that's it, Because I guess, back when Bush was in office, we were all crazy liberals. Now that Obama's in office, we're all crazy fucking conservatives. I'm so sick of that shit. One Berry Brigade in particular is a conservative group that has become so organized and influential that they are able to bury over 90% of the articles by certain users and websites submitted within 1 to 3 hours. Regardless of subject material, literally thousands of stories have already been artificially removed from Dig due to this group. When a story is buried, it is removed from the upcoming section where it usually is at for 24 hours. It cannot reach the front page. So by doing this one group is removing the ability of the community as a whole to judge the merits of interest of these stories on their own, in essence, censoring the content. This group is known as the Dig Patriots. Isn't that funny that they're calling themselves the Dig Patriots? And it's got a list of screen names here of the people that have been doing this. That'd be interesting if it was somebody y'all know that we knew or heard about. I'm going through them, see if I recognize any of them. probably just some of the classic spooks and classics, like I was talking about the other night, you know, when Lee Rogers said, hey, go in my chat room, check it out. And I went in there and checked it out. It was every fucking person I've ever banned from a chat room in my life. Oh, they just turned it into fucking troll fest over there. Anyway, let's continue on with the news here today. Everybody's making a big deal out of Michelle Obama taking a big expensive Spanish vacation. Look, let me just, you know, this is not news. Why does anybody think that this is fucking news? Michelle Obama is taking a $725,000 trip to Spain. Oh my God, it's so horrible. Look, man, you know, what do you think these people sell their fucking souls to this shit for? You know, that's what you get. That's their payment for, you know, becoming minions of the social elite. That's what they get. You know, I mean, Michelle Obama is a CFR member. She is Barack Obama's handler. In fact, she has more power in the power structure than he does. You know, and notice he didn't go with her. No, he wanted to stay back because, again, all these, you know, wife and husband teams, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, I mean, it's all just a big lie. Bill Clinton likes men. Hillary Clinton likes women. Barack Obama likes men. Michelle Obama likes women. It's the same old fucking thing. But who cares? Why is it news? But what do you expect? I mean, that's what these people get. They get the extravagance, and they get to, you know, they get a little bit of that nouveau riche type of thing, you know, where they get to feel elite. That's how they get paid for their compliance. Don't you understand? And that's really all that should be said about that. But I mean, you know, even people in alternative media are covering this story as if it's some big event. And I really don't think it is. I find the fact that Jennifer Aniston has a $4,000 Buddha statue that she talks to much more interesting than that. Because now people are attacking her and saying, oh, she's a fucking psycho. She talks to a Buddha statue. I mean, you know, just because she's into spirituality. I find that much more interesting. That should be something that I think is more topic worthy to talk about. But let's get into this one. This is interesting. How marijuana could split the Tea Party. It's well recognized that Tea Partiers don't agree on everything, and that, in fact, they disagree over quite a lot. Get enough organizers together in the same room, an activist once told me, and you're bound to have some tense arguments about politics, policy, and the movement itself. Organizers have insisted that the Tea Party stick to its core principles: less spending, less government, opposing Obama as a socialist, and not get sidetracked by any other issues, many of them social, on which its members coincidentally also have strong opinions. But among the movement's potential fissures, here's one that hasn't been talked about so much: legalization of marijuana. Marijuana legalization has gained steam in the last year and a half and is becoming an issue in multiple states. A handful will vote on medical marijuana ballot initiatives this year, and in California, Proposition 19 would allow counties to legalize marijuana outright, taxing and regulating it more or less like alcohol. The California measure appears to have had a reasonable shot at success. Internal and Survey USA polling have shown it in the lead, while the more reputable field research has shown Proposition 19 trailing 48 to 44%. If it passes, it will shock many people who haven't considered legalization of marijuana to be a remote possibility in this country. President Obama and Attorney General Eric Holder will have to decide whether to uphold federal drug laws or allow the will of California's voters to stand, and marijuana will explode as a national topic of discussion. The issues at play happen to mesh perfectly with the Tea Party's extant ideological divides. Beneath the movement's strict focus on fiscal matters, libertarianism and social conservatism are the two dominant leanings that most readily oppose each other. The Tea Party is an amalgam of Ron Paul supporters and libertarians mixed in with disaffected Bush voters whose personal views are grounded firmly in social conservatism. Marijuana seems like as good as an issue as any to bring these ideological poles into conflict. Libertarians support looser drug laws as an expression of their most basic principle: less government involvement in private lives. Social conservatives and traditionalists react viscerally to drug legalization as a descent into societal depravity. In broader terms, libertarians and social conservatives couldn't see marijuana more differently. And it talks about gay marriage. Yeah, gay marriage is the same thing. Ron Paul has opposed them repealing the Proposition 8 that passed. Again, that's why they've created all these different flavors of these different groups now. Wasn't it, before we just had Democrat and Republican, that was it. Now we have, progressives on the Democrat side, and then, hardcore Democrats, conservative Democrats, and, right-wing socialists, and, and fucking Tea Partiers and Teabaggers and the Tea Party Express and the Tea Party 2.0. And then we have truthers. I mean, it's just, but again, it's to cause more divide and not bring more people together. And so, again, this is going to be another contentious issue. And what's going to happen? Are we going to get any closer to any change, real change happening in the world? No. It just keeps people arguing long enough for the bigger agenda to continue. That's the whole point in all this stuff. That's why I don't like spending a lot of time on some of these lower rung issues anymore, because it's just horseshit. But it's important to discuss in this manner so that people know that, look, that's why, marijuana legalization and abortion and gay marriage, all this horseshit, that shouldn't be up to a government or a state or anything else to decide anyway. But see, people don't look at that. They don't see the true issue, that freedom is about us being able to have the freedom to choose whether or not we want these things or not. Not about whether or not, a government gives us permission to. That's horseshit. That's the problem. But it just keeps us distracted, and it keeps us down here worrying about this other low-level shit while the bigger agenda continues and nobody wants to talk about that. Then they tell you that's a distraction. Well, you need to be worried about gay marriage. I don't give a fuck about gay marriage. If you're fucking gay, go be gay. If you want to fucking marry a woman, if you're a woman, marry a woman. If you want to be a Peter Puffer and marry a dude, marry a fucking dude. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Go be free. Go do what you want to do. Who cares? But it's a problem that we start allowing, dictating whether or not we're going to have government involved in this, or whether government says it's okay. Whether it's gay marriage or abortion or fucking marijuana, I don't care what it is. Goddamn government should not be involved in it, period. So there's no reason why we should even have a discussion past that. Who are the ones that are not allowing individual citizens and individual human beings to decide these things for themselves? These motherfuckers in charge. So that's the problem. Let's go after them. No, can't do that. That would be logical. That would make sense. And that wouldn't help us keep people distracted as we continued on with the bigger agenda. Oh, okay. Gotcha. And now that faggot Chris Matthews, I'm sorry, I'm just nasty today. He's a little fucking queer, isn't he? I don't have anything against gay people, don't get me wrong, but if these guys that act like they're, straight good Americans and they're Peter Puffers, I got no respect for them. But Chris Matthews is saying that birthers are trying to assassinate Obama with lies. Why don't you use a different phrase or terminology? Again, we talked about this the other night. Assassinate. They're trying to get that into the lexicon of people's heads. Why don't you just say that that the Tea Partiers are trying to, ruin Barack Obama with the things that they say? Why say assassinate? See, they're trying to get that into people's heads, this idea of assassination. They're just saying, when you say it stuff over and over like that, and that's why I'm putting more and more stock in my belief that they are trying to get all of us to manifest these things. I think they're trying to get the human race as a whole to manifest doom and gloom and death and destruction on December 21st, 2012. 100% I think they are. I think that's why they continue to put only the stuff that revolves around fear in with the 2012 paradigm, so that we will, by virtue of our manifesting, manifest something in you. The power of the mind is something we haven't even been told about yet, not the full extent of it. And I think the same thing with the Barack Obama assassination thing. They want to get enough people thinking about it so that enough energy will be behind it and it will manifest into reality. I really do believe that. Well, isn't that interesting? It looks as if we are back up and running on the stream. So you can listen to us over on the streams right now at theglobalreality.com. The stream is back up and we are running, but we are continuing to broadcast here on Justin.tv. So now you have multiple choice. You can listen to us on the regular audio stream, or you can You can watch us here on Justin TV, and we'll continue to be broadcasting here on Justin.tv as well as the streams. And then I've got it archiving and recording it, so we'll have it running. We'll have it up in the archives as well. Have it streaming all weekend. Well, then we'll stream all the shows that we did all week throughout the weekend. But right now we're going to take a break and come back. And when we get back from the break here in a few minutes, we're going to get into more news. Hey, it's Free for All Friday, so you know what that means. If you've got a topic of discussion, right now I'm not really in the regular Global Reality chat room. I'm on the Justin TV chat room, so that's kind of, if you want to come and participate there, that's kind of the place to do it, because we've been using that as our contingency. And plus, I don't know if the stream's going to stay up. Like I said, it's working right now, but who knows if it's going to stay up. File Dropper works fine. Depending upon what browser you're using, it doesn't work for some people, but majority of people it works for. That's another thing. I can't just change where I upload it to, because some people will work. Same thing happened. I was using the filehosting.org. It worked great for 90%, 95% of the people. And then we had a few other people who couldn't get it to work because they're using a fucked up weird browser. They have a fucked up ISP. So I switched to File Dropper. Same thing. You can't please all the people all the time. If you can't get the archives, try using a different browser. Use something besides whatever browser. If you use Internet Explorer all the time, try Opera. If you use Opera all the time, try Firefox, vice versa. Other than that, I can't help you, because, again, no matter what thing I use, people do it, and it costs thousands of dollars a month in bandwidth to open this up, and I can't afford to have a server with the archives on it to download, because we don't get enough money and support in to do that. That's all it is to it. So if you can't get the archives off File Dropper, I apologize, but you're just going to have to tune in and listen to it as it restreams on, unless somebody out there wants to put it up on another one of their sites and download it there. That's all I can do, but I can't be bothered with trying to put up fucking 4 or 5 different archives of every show every day just because 1 or 2 people can't get it to work. I apologize, but I got enough on my hands over here. Oh, God, good Lord. This shit's wearing me out. Tired of the fucking issues, tired of the bullshit. But anyway, Chip and Banner's there for the bills. Tony Button is there to help us build a war chest, get some money in to get these films out. Please support us. We're going to take a break and come back and get into more news. Free for All Friday right here on the Global Reality Radio Network with me, your host, Josh Reeves. Stay with us. Back here with you on the Global Reality, right here on the Global Reality Radio Network. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. Thank you for being with us here today. And it looks like, yeah, we are back up and running on the stream. So you can watch us simultaneously on justin.tv/global reality. It's justin.tv/global reality. Or you can listen here on the stream, either one. But we do have the live, and I'm going to keep this up and running like this. I think I'm going to do it like this from now on, and have this going like this more and more. But nonetheless, if you're just tuning in to us, we did get confirmation earlier from the server hosting company that we use for the Global Reality Radio Network. We did get confirmation that we indeed have been under a massive denial of service attack for the streams. Coincidentally enough, we had last night, blacklistednews.com, roguegovernment.com, theglobalreality.com, and Oracle Broadcasting were all down as well. So again, I don't believe in coincidences, and this is very apparent that this has become a full-fledged attack on what we're trying to do and the information that we're putting out and everything else. So, again, we just got to have your support so that we can take these people head on. The Rite 1.5. Yeah, I'd appreciate if you wouldn't start spreading the link yet. I see some people spreading the link in the little chat room there for Justin TV. I really didn't want to start spreading the link yet. I don't like to start spreading the links until this stuff is up in higher quality. It's not done encoding yet. Yes, it's up and it's uploaded, but it's still processing, so the video quality is not as good as it will be. But if we start spreading the link around before it's done processing, people are going to watch it. They're going to watch it once. They're going to watch it in shitty quality, and then that defeats the whole purpose of me encoding this stuff in high def and putting it up. So, I mean, I appreciate you wanting to spread it around and stuff, but that's why I said that I would tell you when it was ready. And yet somebody's already put a link out. So whatever, there's nothing I can do about it, I guess. But just an FYI, it's not, if you watch it now, it's not going to be in as good quality as it will be later once it's done processing. Because once it's uploaded, yes, it's uploaded and it's there. There's a little green bar at the top that says the video is still being processed. Video quality may improve once processing is complete, and that's what it always does. So I'd been keeping this under wraps. I hadn't told anybody about it, which again, was a lot more interesting to me with us being under attack and being under this denial of service attack we've been under all week. So here we are. But Rite 1.5. It's 16 minutes and 39 seconds. These are outtakes. This is footage and clips, news clips that didn't make it into Volume 1 and didn't really fit in and mesh well with what we're doing in Volume 2. So this is kind of a segue of information between those two volumes, and it's another way to get more of this information out there. It's another way, hopefully, that will drum up some more support and some more cash coming in to get Volume 2 out. Hopefully that you'll enjoy it. I think there's some good stuff in there. It didn't quite fit. None of it really. I couldn't really find a place for this stuff in Volume 1. But I was going through my footage and working on Volume 2, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I might as well just put this stuff out and get it out there and let it stand on its own as like a YouTube only type thing. So, when it's done processing, I'll let you guys know, and you guys can start to spread it around and everything else. I'm not mad because you posted the link to it or anything. I'm just saying that's the whole reason why I was waiting to tell people that it was there. And don't forget always, too, that when you watch YouTube videos on YouTube, make sure you click the little button down there at the bottom, on the bottom right-hand side, in 720p or 1080p HD, so you can see these videos in a lot higher quality. Because they do look substantially better once you see them in HD. So definitely be sure and do that. Anyway, we're going to jump back into the news because we have a ton of it to get into today. Yeah, I guess it's been posted 2 or 3 times, I guess, in the chat room now. Yeah. Like I said, I was hoping people might wait until it was up and until it was done processing. So, I just don't like people watching inferior product. And unfortunately, YouTube, even though it uploads, it still takes a while to process it once it's done uploading it, even though it's there and it's live. But anyway, that's an FYI. Let's continue on with the news today. Florida developer sues Halliburton over Gulf spill. Florida real estate developer St. Joe Company is suing Halliburton Company over its role in the rig explosion that led to the massive oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. St. Joe said Wednesday that Halliburton was responsible for encasing BP PLC's subsea well in cement, ignored safety procedures, didn't properly manage the cementing process. Well, either way, I mean, they had a hand in this. I'm sure they did. Their biggest competitor, one of Halliburton's biggest competitors for contracts, is the Japanese company Mitsui & Company that just happens to own the biggest amount of British petroleum stock in the world, and also happened to own that tanker that was attacked or not attacked or whatever happened last week down in the Middle East. But there's more news coming out on the front of this BP thing. We have a few BP and oil related stories here I'd like to cover. I've got so much goddamn news, it's ridiculous. Let me find it all here. BP says we might drill again in the disaster zone. Oh, that's great. Maybe you want to wait. Maybe you want to wait a little while. Maybe you want to wait a little while and announce it. Again, this is all the part of this self-demonization thing. They're trying to make themselves look as bad as possible so that their stocks will drop, so that ExxonMobil can then buy them once they declare bankruptcy and then thus merge BP with ExxonMobil. That's what this is about. I mean, come on. Why announce this now? Why not wait a little while? You see? It's all just a massive engineered plot. BP PLC said Friday that it might someday drill again into the same lucrative undersea pocket of oil that spilled millions of gallons of crude, wrecked livelihoods, and fouled beaches along the Gulf of Mexico. There's a lot of oil and gas here. Chief Operating Officer Doug Suttles said at a news briefing, we're going to have to think about what to do with that at some point. The vast oil reservoir beneath the blown well is still believed to hold nearly $4 billion worth of crude, with the company and its partners facing tens of billions of dollars in liabilities. The incentive to exploit the wells in the reservoir could grow. Retired Coast Guard Admiral Thad Allen, the government's point man on the spill, said he had no information on BP's future plans. So, of course they will. I mean, there's, obviously they've proven that there is, a whole shit ton of oil under there. So, of course, they're going to be thinking to, they're going to be figuring out a way to get back there and get that oil, get that money. That's big cash. But here's an interesting article from Pravda.com. And again, it's Pravda, and they've been known to put out some disinfo in the past. But it's an interesting article nonetheless. But I'd like to read this now. They're claiming that there's tons and tons of leaks down there in the Gulf of Mexico. We're being told it's one, and that sort of jives with some of the stuff we've been told. But this is according to some Russian sources. BP disaster, Russia's take. Anatoly Slaglovich, whatever the fuck this guy's Russian's name is, fucking Boris. I'm just going to call Russians I can't pronounce Boris. And if they're females, I'll call them Natasha. So Boris has added his voice to the latest controversy over the BP ecological catastrophe in the Gulf of Mexico. This expert from the Russian Academy of Science was called into the Gulf by BP shortly after the Deepwater Horizon rig collapse, and what he has to say is not very reassuring. Dr. Sagalagovich's report was drawn up and presented to Prime Minister Vladimir Putin. In this report, the investigator from the Shirzov Institute of Oceanology and the Russian Academy of Science has stated that the ocean floor has been irreparably damaged and that the planet must prepare for an ecological disaster beyond all understanding. The reason why Dr. Sagalagovich was called by BP is because he is the leading world expert in deep water exploration, having been awarded the Order of Lenin for the creation of submersibles Mir 1 and Mir 2, which are capable of diving to a depth of 6 kilometers, the deepest reaching submarines in the world. For Dr. Sagalagovich, the oil pouring from the Gulf is not just coming from one source, as the media have been claiming, but from 18 different places. According to the report, the Russian scientists called by the USA are forbidden to divulge their findings to the media, yet another source backing up the claim that there is a media blackout. Isn't that interesting that the head of BP, Tony Hayward, went to BP's counterpart in another course than Russia? Isn't that interesting? Again, not a coincidence. According to the report, in Pravda, Russian experts are pressing the Americans to use a nuclear explosion to extinguish the well before it destroys the Atlantic Ocean. The USSR apparently used nuclear explosives 5 times to extinguish problematic oil and gas deposits between 1966 and 1981. For Dr. Sagalagovich, the problem facing the Obama administration as regards using a nuclear explosion to seal the well has more to do with the effects of the continued exploration of oil in the Gulf of Mexico than the environmental impact of the Deepwater disaster. Russian scientists are also warning against the use of the poisonous dispersing agents by BP against the oil due to the fact that if this falls somewhere as acid rain and is destroying all plant life it comes in contact with. So there you go. Very interesting stuff there. Wouldn't surprise me there's 17 or 18 different holes and leaks. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. And, they've been coming out this week saying, oh, yeah, well, we can't find the oil left. We think it's all gone. Oil-eating microbes took care of it. Well, according to this article here, that is not the case. The federal government and media is reporting that the BP Gulf oil spill has disappeared, but satellite photos show a slick covering over 12,000 square miles of the Gulf. According to John Amos over at Sky Truth, all of that oil that magically disappeared isn't going away just yet. Yesterday, MODIS and RadarSat images show something we didn't expect. Slicks and sheen spanning nearly 12,000 square miles. Based on other reports and the recent trend on satellite images indicating steady dissipation of the surface oil slick, we are optimistically assuming that nearly all of this is a very thin sheen. Speculation. Winds from Bonnie obliterated most of the thin sheen throughout the area, but since then the sheen has had time to reassemble into observable layers that noticeably affect the sunlight on MODIS images. And the backscatter on radar, but may not look like much to folks out in the Gulf on vessels or in low-flying aircraft. That's our theory at this point. Chime in if you have other thoughts on what we're seeing in these images. The MODIS Aqua satellite image above, taken at 2 p.m. Central Time on July 28th, shows oil slicks and sheen that we think are likely attributable to BP. And that's the whole fact of the matter. We don't know. I mean, I think there's probably, from the things that we've seen, there are multiple, there are multiple leaks down there, and that there were leaks that were going on prior to the Deepwater Horizon thing. And, maybe it's true. Maybe they did need a massive event like this to cover up for the smaller leaks they've had. But then, of course, we had that other one that blew up off the coast of New Orleans. So it very well could be that the oil that they're seeing on these satellite images, I think, probably could be coming from that. But then again, just as we talked about, because on the satellite images, and I put the link in the Justin TV chat room there, if you look at the satellite images, they're showing everything looks black. Now, that doesn't fit in with everything we've seen. It would if even the satellite images would show that was red. So I think it's more likely what it is this other gusher that happened off the coast of New Orleans is doing more damage than we thought. But since it wasn't a BP thing, they're not spraying Corexit on it. Then BP will just go, well, that's not our oil. So we don't have to clean that up. But anyway, let's move on to some other topics and other news stories here. IMF document illustrates plan to raise global currency. Again, how many times are we going to see this article? I've seen this same goddamn article 20 times this year. Yes, we know. The fucking IMF is creating a global currency. Yes, we know. Thank you. We've known this for fucking decades. Thank you, Walter Cronkite, for your breaking news story. I mean, again, we'll cover it, but I've covered this story 20 fucking times. I've been on air probably 20 times this year. It's no secret that many of the world's largest industrialized nations are somewhat eager to ease their reliance on the U.S. dollar. For months, China and Russia have pushed ever subtly for a new global reserve currency to give governments around the world enhanced economic stability in the event of greater fluctuations in the dollar's value. But what wasn't known until recently is how far along the International Monetary Fund was in the planning of elevating its so-called special drawing rights from mere international agreement to an actual legitimate global currency. The report examines what it calls the imperfections of the global reserve banking structures and how hoarding of reserves by sovereign nations can subject the system to a risk and occasional shocks. In the 35 pages of exploration and footnotes, the IMF's Strategy, Policy, and Review Department lays out the how and the why of a global currency which would move from an inside money as the SDR to an outside money that is traded by governments. However, they concluded that the ideas that are discussed are unlikely to materialize in the foreseeable future, absent a dramatic shift in appetite for international cooperation. And, of course, this is why the financial collapse is continuing. Don't you understand? That's why they're not creating new jobs. Don't you understand? That's why this stuff is continuing on as a pretext to be able to install this global currency. Duh. I'm sorry. I hate to sound jaded sometimes, man, but it's like I don't have time for people. You can't figure this out. You don't know that's why they're continuing to do this. You don't know they're trying to bring in a one world currency with the IMF running the helm and controlling being like the world's version of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, folks, has been the world's most successful scam. And it originated right here in this country. Now, of course, it was operating on behalf of the Central European bankers and the rest of that. We know all that. But the fact of the matter is, if something works in one place and it works towards your agenda, then what are you going to do? If you open up a retail shop, one retail shop, and your business explodes, and you have a successful business model and you're raking in tons of cash, what are you going to do? You're going to set up another one and another one. And then you're going to start selling franchises. And you're going to start putting these money-making machines everywhere, right? You're going to want to go global with it. Why should you just have one in one place, one centralized location, when you could spread these things all over the planet and have even more success? That's what they're doing. They're going to set up a worldwide franchise for the Federal Reserve, and it's called the IMF. Thank you. Move on. And we've been talking about on the flip side of all that bullshit. We've been talking about how it seems that there's some sort of interesting spirit realm tie-in with all this stuff, and we've seen more people being possessed by demons, possessed by the genies. And here we go. I'm sure Alex Jones would probably say that this guy is La Raza. And folks, La Raza wants to come knock on your door. They're going to slit your throat. They're going to drink your blood. And I have a feeling this guy was probably La Raza. He hates white people and he wants to drink their blood, folks. That's what they all want to do. That's why we got to get behind this illegal immigration. That's why Arizona's good. I'm sure he's going to say that. And it probably already has. Man kills friend and drinks his blood. Bail has been denied for a 42-year-old Central Florida man accused of stabbing a friend to death and then drinking his blood. A judge denied bail for Marcirio Mendez Lopez, who made his first court appearance Thursday. In a court, Lopez said he'd been drinking and had no memory of the incident, which happened on Sunday. Oh, I was drunk. I don't know. I got drunk on the tequila. I drank his blood. I don't know. I thought it was the mezcal. Too many fajitas. Lopez was picked up Wednesday after he was spotted by a citizen. He's accused of killing Marciano Cruz in a house they shared in Bartow. A third resident, Cruz's sister-in-law, Marilla Menendez, told police that Lopez fatally stabbed Cruz because he was having an affair with her. Lopez is the uncle of Mendez and Cruz's wife, who lives in Mexico. A police report shows the men had an argument in which Lopez struck Cruz in the face with a 15-pound dumbbell. He then allegedly threatened to kill them both. unless the relationship ended. Authorities say Lopez returned later and stabbed Cruz to death. Mendez told police Lopez left with a plastic cup in his hand that appeared to hold blood. She said he drank from the cup and in a strange ritual from their native Mexico. Several reports that all the adults in the home are illegal immigrants. See what I tell you? What I tell you? I told you that's what they're going to do. Folks, I told you these immigrants, they're blood drinkers. LaBetcha and La Raza, all of them, they want to come here and they're going to drink your fucking blood. And then if that's not enough, folks, after the New World Order's done raping you, and after you get out of the FEMA camp, and after the immigrants drink your blood, you're going to come home and the Darth Vader ski-mask cops are going to fucking kick down your door and they're going to rape your dog. I mean, I can't cover all this stuff, folks. I mean, how are you going to cover dog raping and blood drinking all in one show? You can't do it. Oh, man, good Lord. Anyway, yes, they're going to, no, it's true. No, it's true. They're going to rape your dog, folks. But don't worry, because we've got some good deals on Ted's Gold today. Ted's going to come on and give you a deal. You're only going to get this deal here, folks. Now you can anywhere else. And if you get gold, you might be able to keep the illegal immigrants from drinking your blood and the Darth Vader ski mask cops from raping your dog. But only if you go to Jugold Ted's Goldfinger Gold Discount Store today and get yourself some Cougars and some British Sovereigns. Yeah. All right, take it away, Ted. Oh, Lordy. All right, what else do we got? Oh, this is a great one. Speaking of that faggot, listen to this. Is Alex Jones' an escape lab experiment gone horribly wrong? I'm going to read this. This is pure gold. It's Free for All Friday, so let's have some fun for a minute. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this script for you here. This is from I don't know, some blog or something, but it's called "Is Alex Jones an escape lab experiment gone horribly wrong?" Ring, ring. Hello and good evening. You're on the Alex Jones Show. Hi, Alex. This is Dogpod calling. Look, I've got to interrupt you for a minute. I remind you, my audience and I love good poetry. I'm a cultured guy who's read a lot of books. I mean, a lot of big books. She was a fast machine. She kept her motor clean. She's the best damn one I've ever seen. I love poetry. Go ahead. Wow. Yeah, as I was saying, I'd like to discuss Mike Rivero and his recent look. If you're another rational person who actually wants to address an important issue regarding Jewish power and influence in this country, you're not going to do it on my show. Sniveling anti-Semite, go ahead. Well, Alex, as I was saying, I'm going to have to interrupt you right there because I had just about up to here with your drivel. I mean, you're probably one of them types that thinks Jews are behind your bread turning moldy, empty sugar jar. Blame a Jew. Go ahead. Well, Alex, I've noticed that there is a real need to discuss an imbalance of power and your treatment of where do you people come from? I'm out here every day after day, fighting the Germanic death cults, exposing the Arabs who run Hollywood, and the degradation of culture. I turn well-meaning patriots into impotent fools and show them where the real trouble is. That's what I do. Go ahead. Well, as I was saying, look, I'm going to have to cut you off right there. My producer says that we got to use the next 6 minutes to plug my DVDs. We'll be right back, folks. Stay with us. That's great. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much how it goes right there, isn't it? That's pretty much how that's pretty much how it goes right there. You start you start getting into oh man, that shit made my day. It's fucking funny. Oh man. All right, let's continue on here. We got a lot more news to talk about. Network of right-wing PACs preys on small donors and nets in millions in fees. And this relates to the money behind the Republican Party, the CMP, the Teabaggers. Thousands of grassroots conservative donors around the country who believe they are contributing to the fight to reclaim Congress in the fall have actually poured millions of dollars into a group of political action committees whose primary function appears to be enriching a notorious Washington direct mail fundraising firm Salon's review of the group's FEC filing shows the PAC, Freedom's Defense Fund, the Black Republican PAC, Veterans for Victory, and the Republican Member Senate Fund, all based out of post office boxes in Washington, and all have a treasurer in common. Scott McKenzie, a campaign finance consultant at Base Connect, the direct mail firm. Formerly known as BMW Direct, Base Connect has long been controversial for its practice of raising large sums of money for long-shot conservative candidates, who in turn pay Base Connect as much as 80 or 90% of the money raised for its services. The PACs appear to be a clever twist on that model. Instead of having to find and pitch a congressional campaign on its services, Base Connect can, through the PACs, send out fundraising solicitations each election cycle, and on the basis of evergreen issues like promoting black Republicans, of the money raised by the four PACs, 60 to 70% typically goes to Base Connect and its affiliates. Meanwhile, the PACs have spent from as little as 2% to as much as 6% of the money raised on funding actual campaigns. A strikingly small share of the rest of the PAC's funds go to operating expenses like bank and legal fees. And occasionally, though, you'll love this, they say the best of the last, occasionally to consulting fees to people such as conservative activist Jerome Corsi. And of course, Jerome Corsi is a Council for National Policy member, a Zionist. This guy is every week, yeah, we got to bomb Iran. It's a good thing. And there he is. I'll never forget that, man. Back in 2008, we shot footage for The Secret Rite, and we were sitting there having a lunch, and Phyllis Schlafly was about to give her speech, and I feel you know how somebody come up behind you and kind of pat you on the back and give you a little arm squeeze. I was just kind of sitting there eating my lunch, and I feel somebody kind of doing this, you know, as I'm sitting there watching, and I look back, and it's fucking Jerome Corsi standing behind me. I was shat myself. I had to go wipe. I was like, I thought I was getting pinched or something, dude. I was like, I mean, yo, I was kind of nervous because I'm in there with all these fuckers, you know, all these Republicans and shit. It was like being in a fucking den of, you know, like somebody was giving booze to these goddamn animals, you know? I mean, it was kind of spooky, dude. And I look back and fucking Jerome Corsi standing, I'm like, God damn. But yeah, so again, you know, here we go. That's what it's all about. All these groups, most of these election, that's why there's so many dead dogs that are put into the election cycle. That's why there's always 12 different Republicans running for president at one time. It's about generating cash. It's not about creating a campaign that will win. It's about generating cash. That's what the Ron Paul campaign was about. But unfortunately, and I think people are a lot more savvy now than they were during the Ron Paul campaign. But unfortunately, that was the whole reason why people got duped into the Ron Paul thing and didn't realize it was all about generating cash for the Republican Party, was because they haven't been allowed to have that access to that information. But that's what it is. Now, these campaigns are not created to succeed or win or have a fighting shot at the presidency. They're created to generate more money for their constituents. That's all it's for. Period. End of story. Artificial life forms evolve basic intelligence. For generations, this is from New Scientist magazine. For generations, the Avidians have been cloning themselves quietly in a box. They're not perfect, but most of their mutations go unnoticed. Then something remarkable happens. One steps forward, and that changes everything. Tens of thousands of generations down the line, some of its descendants will evolve memory. Avidians are not microbes or sci-fi alien life forms. They are the digital offspring of Charles Ophira and colleagues at Michigan State University in East Lansing. They live in a computer world called Avida and replicate using strings of coded computer instructions instead of DNA. But in many ways, they are similar to real life. They compete with each other for resources, replicate, mutate, and evolve. They, or things like them, might eventually evolve to become artificially intelligent life forms. So they're creating digitally created creatures that are evolving using digital code instead of DNA, and are actually evolving using digital code, but becoming lifelike forms that you can actually see in a computer screen. This is unbelievable. They're taking the natural process of organic life forms and replicating it into a computer model. I mean, that's just absolutely unbelievable. Similar to microbes, avidians take up very little space, have short generation times, and can evolve new traits to outcompete their rivals, unlike microbes. Their evolution can be stopped at any time, reversed, repeated, and the precise sequence of mutations that led to the new trait can be dissected. They're wonderful evolutionary pets, says Ben Kerr, a biologist at the University of Washington in Seattle. They could become so much more. At the 12th Annual International Conference on Artificial Life in Odense, Denmark this month, philosopher and computer scientist Robert Pinnock of MSU will present the findings of experiments in which avidians were made to evolve memory. The big question is, how did we get here? Our intelligence didn't just evolve all at once. You need certain ingredients. Memory is one, right? But they never put in the one factor, genetic manipulation. Hello? Evolution happens on a very slow time scale. How come humans evolved very rapidly? Because we were genetically created from the material of something that had already evolved over a long course of time. So essentially, they're creating these digital life forms now, and then this kind of coincides with that idea. I saw this today, and I thought, wow, that's interesting. Scientists find sea sponges share human genes. Mankind may be descended from apes, but Australian scientists have found proof of links much closer to the seafloor, with a study revealing that sea sponges share almost 70% of human genes. Genetic sequencing of sea sponges from the World Heritage listed Great Barrier Reef showed the ancient marine animal shared many of its genes with humans, including a large number typically associated with disease and cancer. Lead researcher Bernard Denigan of the University of Queensland said that the findings would shed light on a whole range of different things and could lay the foundation of breakthroughs in cancer and stem cell research. Sponges have what is considered to be the holy grail of stem cells. Exploring the genetic function of sponge stem cells could provide deep and important connections to the genes that influence human stem cell biology. It might actually inform the way that we think about our own stem cells and how we might be able to use them in future medical applications. The study published in journal Nature this week and is the result of more than 5 years of research by an international team of scientists. It required the extraction of really pure DNA from a sponge embryo in a complex sequencing exercise. So, again, we find out more and more that, the genetic material we're made of is from a much older source than something that could be just indigenous to this planet. I think that is definitely further proof of that. What's this? Benjamin Freeman and Jack Bernstein. What the fuck? Which I've somebody's putting a theoretical conversation in there or something. Transcript. Anyway, we're going to take a break and come back, and we've got some more news today to finish up with as well. The donate button and the chipping banners there at the website. The chipping banners for the bills. The donate button is for the films to help us build up a war chest. We've been under denial of service attack. That's been confirmed by the stream company. We've been under denial of service attack from them all week. All our websites were down last night. TheGlobalReality.com. Blacklist News was down. Rogue Government, Oracle, all the rest of it. And so we definitely need some help and need some support right now more than ever because we are under attack and we got to get our information out. The Secret Rite 1.5 is up on YouTube. It's still encoding, so the quality's not going to be as good as it will be later. And we'll make sure we get that up on the website as well for you. Make sure you click on the button on the bottom right to watch it in HD so you can see it in a much better quality. Got some outtakes that didn't make it in the first film. Extra footage, stuff of us at the Dallas Scottish Rite Cathedral and Dallas Freemason Lodge. And some outtake news clips as well in there. So it looks like it's done. Okay, it's done. So I will now officially drop links in the chat room for you guys. Bam, shebang, even though I know everybody already put it in there already. Jumped the gun on it. I guess that's what I get for uploading my videos. But anyway, there it is. There's 1.5. And hopefully this will help us get some support and drum some support to be able to get more and more, get the volume 2 out. That's really what we need. We need some funding. We need some cash to be able to do it. So let us know. Please support us, and we will be back here with you in just a few minutes. This is the Global Reality Friday edition. Stay with us, folks. Back here with you on the Global Reality, right here on the Global Reality Radio Network. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. Thank you for being with us here today for the broadcast. And we're going to finish up with our news. I think I should be able to get through all the rest of the news we have in this segment of the broadcast today. And again, we did get confirmation from the server company that the server has been under a massive denial of service attack. So all of our suspicions about that have been confirmed. So, again, they don't start attacking you unless you're over the target. And I think it definitely goes a long way to confirm a lot of things that we've been talking about here. It's just, it's crazy. But anyway, all right, let's get back into our news. Oh, this is interesting. You guys heard about this? I've been meaning to cover this all week, and I forgot to. Well, now it's Friday. I'll make sure I cover this. Apparently, Nick Jonas and Jordan Sparks, I guess they're these like teen heartthrob type of ones. I guess they're fucking, as usual, as most of these teen heartthrobs are. I guess they're Nazi test tube minion babies or something. But apparently, they're like the new Hitler Youth now. They're out proselytizing for some sort of Ronald Reagan youth group. Isn't this rich? I mean, again, this shit just confirms everything we already know. They weren't even alive when he was president, but 18-year-old Jonas brother Nick Jonas and 21-year-old American Idol champ Jordan Sparks are big Ronald Reagan fans. Jonas and Sparks are leading a committee of 35 prominent young people touched by the life of the Gipper, the nation's 40th president who left the White House in 1989. The group was formed to commemorate Reagan's 100th birthday on February 6th. The National Youth Leadership Committee of Ronald Reagan's centennial celebration includes athletes, entertainers, and student leaders who are under age 25. They have been inspired in a personal way by Reagan's vision and freedom of leadership. Well, I want to thank you so much. I'm here. Ronnie is coming to you from the grave. I'm just here to tell you that we love you so much, and it just saddens me that I'm not alive anymore to come and touch your butt. But Nancy will do it for me. My father and my family were supporters of Reagan, Jonas says, so I'm proud to be a part of this. I mean, this is unbelievable. So again, the Hitler Youth and Nazi Youth are out now trying to get people roped in and make a new generation of Reaganites, I guess. Which again just confirms, we talked about that before. There's pictures that we've seen from CMP meetings, where they've got a lot of young people, college age people that they allow to come in CMP meetings and stuff. And that's what they do. They get them in early. They give them a little bit of power, make it exclusive, bring some hot looking women in there and, hey, serve our thing. Little do they tell them that later on, the hot women are just for show. Cause in order to become a part of the real club, well, you know what you're going to have to do to become a part of the real club. Squeeze! Yeah, like a big boy. Bend over and grab your ankles, son. You're taking it up the ass from old Uncle Rowdy. Yes, you will fuck the corpse of Ronald Reagan to become a member. Stranger things happen. But while we're on the subject of that, gays and Republicans, hey, Anne the Man is back in the news, and we know she has a penis. And I thought if you're on the right wing, you were supposed to be against homosexuals. Isn't that what they tell us? Anyway, this is further proof that she's a man baby. Yeah, she's a man baby. Yeah. Conservative pundit and unlikely gay ally Anne the Man Coulter is set to headline the first annual HomoCon. Well, that's great, HomoCon. Oh yeah, we're here to praise gays and Republicans. We're going to call it HomoCon. You couldn't come up with a better name than that. HomoCon, featuring Anne the Man Coulter and special appearances by what's his name? Tom the Peter Puffer Dashel or something. Yeah. Conservative pundit, unlikely gay ally Ann Coulter is set to headline the first annual HomoCon, a party to celebrate gay conservatives put on by Geo Proud, the only national organization representing gay conservatives. The festivities are scheduled to take place in New York City on September 25th. The gay left has done their best to take all the fun out of politics in their endless list of boycotts and protests. HomoCon is going to be our annual effort to counter the no-fun police on the left. So now, what is this? The Republicans are turning being gay into a left or right issue? No. No, we got plenty of gays over here on the right wing. See? Come on. We want the gays back. There's too many left-wing gays. We need some balance. We need to make this a nonpartisan ass-plugging situation. I'm sorry. Oh, this is just funny. Again, it's like we talked about earlier. Who gives a fuck if you're gay? Who gives a fuck if you want to marry a man or marry a woman? Who cares? What does it matter? And who gives a fuck if a gay person's left wing or right wing? I mean, it's fucking ridiculous, man. It's all about demographics to these clowns. I can't think of any conservative more fun to headline or inaugural party than the self-professed right-wing Judy Garland and Coulter. Right-wing Judy Garland? That's a man, baby. I'm sorry. That's a man. Look at that Adam's apple. Oh, my God. I can promise you HomoCon 2010 will be a hell of a lot more fun than chaining yourself to the White House fence. Barron pledge, making light of an incident earlier this year where gay soldiers protesting the military's don't ask, don't tell policy chained themselves to the gates of the White House. In choosing Coulter, the organizers of GeoProud appear willing to ignore her past transgressions against the gay community. Yeah, I was about to say. Didn't she call John Edwards a faggot or something like that? All of a sudden she's a gay champion? Well, you know, we know why that is. You know, I think really it was she was just trying to express her in the only way that she could, that, you know, that she has a bigger dick than John Edwards. I really think that's, you know, I really think that's what she meant. You know, you got to read between the lines sometimes. I really think that she's trying to say, and she couldn't come right out and say it. I really think that she had to, you know, she had to, in some way, to break it to John Edwards that, you know, his penis is smaller than hers. You know, I mean, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to do. But we have a question. We have an important question in the chat room by Mr. Lee Rogers. And I think it's important to address the question. I think it's a great question. I think it needs to be addressed. Probably one of the most important questions I've been asked all week, and that is, who has a bigger penis, Ann Coulter or Lady Gaga? I'm not going to pretend I know the answer to that one, my friend. I got to say that if I had to guess, I would say probably Ann the man. She's like a 6'5" fucking blonde Aryan fucking Nazi, you know, transvestite. Lady Gaga, yeah, there you go. Ann does, but Gaga tucks it back better. Yeah. Oh, you know what? There was an interesting story a couple weeks ago that I saw, and I meant to cover this on the show. Now that you guys brought up Lady Gaga, I'll bring this up. It was interesting. It was in the Daily Mail of all places. It was you know, on the UK paper, and it talked about how, because Lady Gaga was here in Dallas a couple of weeks ago, and it talked about how that when she came to Dallas and played, she went to this country and western bar, cowboy bar, that she had played at back before she was known, and she was doing this tour, and when she was unknown, and her manager had called up this cowboy bar and asked if she could come play at this cowboy bar, and they said yeah, and they said, well, she's the next Madonna, and so they said, okay, you know, come on down, whatever. And so they had a PR opportunity and all this stuff. She went back to that club when she came to Dallas a couple of weeks ago to visit, and I was reading this article, and it had this name, and I was going, man, you know, I lived in Dallas my whole life. I know pretty much the names of all the clubs in Dallas. You know, why? And it had the name of this country and western bar. And I said, well, how come I've never heard of this place? Is this made up? I thought it was a made up story because I'd never heard the name of this place. I mean, I know where all of the, you know, the cowboy bars and country bars and stuff are at. I mean, I know the names of all of them. But this one, I didn't know the name of it. And I started looking. I was like, what the fuck is this? So I put it in a search engine. Dude, lo and behold, because we have this part of town, and if you're not from Dallas, you would know this, but we have this part of town in Dallas called Oak Lawn area. It's the Oak Lawn area, and that's the gay part of town. That's where the gay folks live. It's if you go down that area, it's gay. Everybody that works in the restaurants there is gay. Everybody lives there is gay. Everybody, I mean, it's just the gay part of town, right? Well, lo and behold, this country bar that I'd never heard of that couldn't figure out, I couldn't figure out where it was, where it was at. I was like, I thought it was made up. Lo and behold, it was a gay cowboy bar in the Oak Lawn area in Dallas. So it's like, of all the places she could have gone, of all the places she could have got her started, it happened to be a fucking gay country bar. I mean, that's a man. She has a penis. Let's move on. I had to share that. I thought that was hilarious because I was sitting there going, I was like, how the fuck? I'm like, dude, I know every fucking place in Dallas. I mean, I've played at some shitholes. I've gone to concert at shitholes. I know every place there is. So I'm like, why the fuck hadn't I heard about this country club? I mean, it's like, I thought it was made up, and then lo and behold, it was in Gayville. That's why I hadn't heard of it. Oh, shit. That shit cracked me up. I don't know. I guess maybe it's funnier because I live in Dallas. I was just stumped though. I mean, that was the whole thing about it. I was like, this has got to be a fucking lie. It's got to be made up. I never heard of this fucking place. I didn't even know there was a fucking gay cowboy place. I mean, it might as well be, I guess. Those gay folks know how to party though. I'll tell you, I got a cousin. Actually, I got a cousin who's gay, and he lives in that area, Oak Lawn. And funny story. This was probably, oh God, it's been forever. It was probably 13 years ago. He wanted me to come visit him down there. And so I went down to, Gayville where he lives. And he's like, hey, we're going to go to some clubs and stuff. I was like, all right, cool. And he's like, it was his birthday and he had the hookup, I guess gay people, when it's their birthday, all the other gay people buy their drinks all night. And so he's like, don't worry about it. I got drinks and all this stuff. And we were at this, this gay bar and stuff. It was like a dance club. And I was just kind of, sitting at the bar having some drinks. And this fucking crazy, there was like a bouncer behind the bar. And it's crazy. It's like they know if you're, I guess it's the gaydar thing. They know if you're gay or straight without you even having to tell them. So they knew I was straight. And I was having some drinks, and this fucking crazy drunk ass gay dude walked up behind me while I was at the bar and started fucking dry humping me while I was at the fucking bar. And I was like, whoa, hold up, buddy, hold up. I'm not like that. And dude, it was fucking crazy. This bartender like jumped behind from the fucking bar, dude, and grabbed this fucking little queer and started pummeling the hell out of him, and then called security over there, and they started pummeling him. They're like, get this piece of shit out of here. And they're like calling him out, and they're like, look, motherfucker, this is the problem. People come down here to hang out that aren't gay, and the little faggots like you pull that shit, and they don't want to come down here, and this is why we get a bad name. They're like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. They gave me drinks and everything. It was fucking nuts. I forgot about that story. It's the one time that I forgot because I was thinking about Oak Lawn and Gayville. So one time I hung down there with my cousin who's gay, and it was just, I was completely overwhelmed because it was like as soon as the guy saw this, it was like he wanted to protect me. He's like, he was like, I mean, they were totally like, no, I'm sorry. That's not, don't think that we do that here and stuff. He called him a faggot and stuff. He's like, you little faggot, and started beating the shit out of him. I mean, there's nothing like seeing a big queen go from being a flamer to being like, raw, because there's still that little bit of man left in there. Man, they may take it in the pooper, but they're still men. So they still got that kind of, jump on and beat some ass shit if they have to. It was just one of the funniest fucking things I've ever experienced. Oh man, that's classic. Anyway, let's finish up with the day's news here today. Chinese developing missile that can destroy an aircraft carrier. Nothing projects U.S. global air and sea power more vividly than supercarriers, bristling with fighter jets that can reach deep into even landlocked trouble zones. America's virtually invincible carrier fleets has long enforced its dominance of the high seas. China may soon put an end to that. U.S. naval planners are scrambling to deal with what analysts say is a game-changing weapon being developed by China. An unprecedented carrier-killing missile called the Dongfeng 21D. Again, I got to quote George Carlin. I mean, I still agree. Carlin talked about that 20 fucking years ago, man. All wars are based on penis sizes. And then the bombs and the bullets and the rockets are all shaped like dicks. You know what? They have bigger dicks. Bomb them. like George Carlin said. And then they call their carrier destroying missile the Dong Fang. I mean, when you're right, you're right. And late great George Carlin, I think, nailed that one yet again. The unprecedented carrier-killing missile called the Dongfang 21D could be launched from land with enough accuracy to penetrate the defenses of even the most advanced moving aircraft carrier at a distance of more than 900 miles. Analysts say that final testing of the missile could come as soon as the end of this year, though questions remain about how fast China will be able to perfect its accuracy to the level needed to threaten a moving carrier at sea. The weapon, a version of which was displayed last year in a Chinese military parade, could revolutionize China's role in the Pacific balance of power, seriously weakening Washington's ability to intervene in any potential conflict over Taiwan or North Korea. It could also deny U.S. ships safe access to international waters near China's 11,200-mile-long coastline. While a nuclear bomb could theoretically sink a carrier, assuming its user was willing to raise the stakes to atomic levels, the conventionally armed Dongfang 21D's uniqueness is in its ability to hit a powerfully defended moving target with pinpoint precision. Well, look, if China has this, it's because we gave it to them. All military technology China has they have it because we developed it and sold it to them. Bill Clinton was selling off all kinds of stuff to China back in the 1990s. And that's the whole thing. That's what's all lies. We arm all of these, of our supposed enemies. We have for decades. But they'll probably get ready to launch, another world war, and they'll say, "Oh, China blew us up," and people will believe it. Gender-bending chemical in food tins may cut male fertility. BPA. This stuff's back in the news. Remember, it came out recently that this stuff is in receipts. You notice how everywhere you go now, all these places have policies where it's like, if you don't get a receipt, your meal is free, or, everywhere you go now, they want to put a receipt in your hand. You're like, no, man, I don't need a receipt for, a can of Coke or something. I don't, for a soda, I don't need a fucking receipt. It cost me $1. I don't need a fucking receipt for that. But everywhere you go, they want to give you a receipt. And of course, now that we found out about these chemicals in it, we can understand why that is. A gender-bending chemical in food and drink containers could be behind rising male infertility, scientists say. Men with high levels of bisphenol A in their bodies are more likely to have low sperm counts, according to a study. BPA is widely used to harden plastics and is found in baby bottles, CD cases, plastic knives and forks, and the lining of food and drink cans. The chemical mimics the female sex hormone oestrogen and interferes with the hormones and the way hormones are processed by the body. Although some animal studies have shown it is safe, others have linked it to breast cancer, liver damage, obesity, diabetes, and fertility problems. Experts estimate BPA is detectable in more than 90% of people. It is one of the world's most widely manufactured chemicals, with more than 2.2 million tons made each year. Earlier this year, Denmark became the first EU country to ban the chemical in food and drink containers for children under 3. Canada and 3 U.S. states have also brought in bans. Scientists have now discovered it could be linked. It's supposed to be linked. They're saying lined. Again, shitty grammar in these articles. Scientists have now discovered it could be linked to poor semen quality and concentration. And again, all part of the eugenics operations, all part of the depopulation program, and turning everybody into effeminate, weak individuals, because if you effeminize the males, then you take out their ability to want to rebel or fight or do anything else. I mean, it's all part of the big plan. Not a big surprise there to me. All right. Well, it looks as if we've just about got through our news today, so we're going to wrap it up there. I'm glad we were actually able to go on live. The stream is back up and working, so hopefully we won't have any more problems with that. Oh, here's one more. One more quick article here. New poll says 86% of Arabs prepared for peace with Israel. But, of course, Israel doesn't want peace with Arab nations because, of course, this is about genocide. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. Again, Secret Rite Volume 1.5 is out now. It is up on YouTube. It's 16 minutes of extras. Some of the footage, it didn't make it into the film to the Volume 1. It didn't really have a place in Volume 2 either. So See Rite 1.5 is there. Get that out and spread it to the masses. Let everybody know it's there. Hopefully we'll get that up. We'll get Man Hydra to get that up in the documentary section for you. He probably already has it up, knowing him. We'll get that up on the documentary section of theglobalreality.com. The chip-in banner is there at the website for the bills and for everything that we have to do to pay the bills each month for the operations. And then the donate button is there so we can buy footage, so we can get more of what we need in. You know, with all these attacks going on, like I said at the beginning of the show, we need to build a war chest. We need funds. We need stuff we can do. I want to buy more equipment. I want to buy more things to make, you know, better soundtracks for the films, better looking films, better computers, all the rest of this stuff. I'd like to upgrade this computer. I've been running on my computer for like 2 years, and I really need something faster for editing video. But whatever you want to donate, the donate button is there. Please support us and help us if you can. If you can donate large amounts, please do it. If somebody wants to come forward and be a co-producer on the film, whatever. I'm just asking for a large amount of support right now because of the attacks we've been going on, and because I know that with all these denial of service attacks, we did get confirmation earlier from the server company that provides our streams that yes, the server was under a denial of service attack all week. We got confirmation from that, so it's not speculation. And, I have to believe that even though I didn't announce this all week, that 1.5 was coming out, never announced it until today, till right when it was uploading in the chat room. I have to figure that they've been monitoring my computer, knew I was working on this week, and that's why this has happened. So that's why I'm asking you to help us out right now, so we can do this, man. It's obviously we're over the target, and we're going to continue to blast straight ahead at them. But that's all there is to it. Well, thanks to everybody for tuning in. It was a crazy week, but we were able to only have to be off air one day this week, which I think, considering the fact that the stream was down most of the week, is a pretty damn good ratio. So we'll try to archive this Justin.tv video as well. I'm sure it'll be in the archive section of the Justin.tv Global Reality channel. And we'll also have the archive up for the audio of the show, and it'll be repeating on the streams. And we'll also have it up on the archive section of the website for you. My name is Josh Reeves. I love each and every one of you, and we will see you next time for the broadcast. You guys have